I'm just waiting to see what the next like mascot's gonna be, because it was Grimace.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be some random like, I'm gonna guess it's gonna be some sort of like rapper or musician.
It's gonna be something.
It's gonna be like Snoop Dogg did the first pitch. 50 Cent's gonna come back and not know how to throw a baseball. Like,
I'm gonna guess that it's gonna be a random citizen or a kid, like, and then they're gonna just like meme the shit out of it, and they're gonna meme the shit out of it.
Luigi Mangione gets acquitted.
Oh.
Yo, what's up? It's the Joystick Show, episode 233, I think.
34?
Yeah. 33. I don't actually remember.
Catching up to the Metro Card price, man.
I think it's 233.
It's a whole many.
It's kind of a scary thought, actually. There might be a point where we never actually catch up to the Metro Card price at this point, because we might get, what is it, like $295 or something like that now?
It's $290.
I think
it's $3 though.
I think it's $290, and the next year it goes up to $3.
That's what I'm saying. We get there, and the price goes up, and we just never get there.
I think the Metro Card is done. Didn't they stop that?
I mean, it's the
the fair price,
card.
you know.
But they still have price. They still have this. They still have the cards.
Wait, you're paying to ride the subway?
Yo, real quick, not to go on a crazy tangent. Who rides the subway pretty like often here? Anybody?
I'm like twice a week now, probably.
Yo, have you seen how these motherfuckers are posted up at every emergency exit?
And the thing is that some of them don't give a fuck still.
Yeah.
Some people are still going through, and they're like, I'm not stopping them.
There are cops or attendants at every single emergency exit. It's like you have to play a game of Red Rover. Like, no,
you have to go like halfway into Brooklyn or Queens for them to stop, and then there's still cops there.
Yeah. But fucking enough tangents. Welcome to the Joystick Show, episode 233 or 234, because my memory's escaping me. I think it's 233 though. It's gonna be a great one. Make sure you go ahead and like this episode, subscribe to the boys, and just fucking sit back, relax, do whatever you do when you listen or watch a podcast. I don't know what that is, but
do your homework while you watch us.
First and foremost, if you saw the title thing graphic at the beginning of the video, just wanted to show some respect to a member of the Melee community who we lost recently. Shout outs to Aziz, Hacks fucking money, Aziz Al-Yami, gone too soon. Super awesome member of the community. Rooted in a lot of controversy that happened over the past couple years with one of his bands, but regardless, just wanted to take the time to show respect to him and also just like look back at the crazy fucking career this guy had. One thing that didn't dawn on me until like the day after he passed, and it's gonna sound cheesy or sad or whatever, but like I never thought I'd get a little emotional over not being able to watch somebody play video games again. You know,
right.
I was like, damn.
It is a very neat. It is a very specific thing.
Yeah, and like Hax's playstyle was known for being so fast and technical and robotic that it's like you can't replicate.
Yeah,
that,
no one else plays like that.
So in a weird way, it got me to watch some of his old sets, and I'm like, man, rip the goat. Like it was really fucking awesome to go back and see that. Not only that, the dude, famously like destroyed his hands because of how passionate he was playing this game.
Twice.
Developed arthritis, got surgery twice, and through all of that, ended up developing a controller to help people with accessibility issues that like 30% of the community uses now. Like 2 people in top 8 of a major that's going on right now are using that controller, just to give you a perspective. So it is crazy. The Smash community has definitely lost people in the past. I think the closest thing we've had to this is probably Etika from like the Ultimate community, but this one hits deep because like every single Smash person like knew Hacks and was close to him in some degree. So it's also one of those weird things where in the midst of something like crazy like that, you also see a lot of community members come together and people finally stop with all the petty bullshit and want to actually make the important changes. And I guess to wrap it up, one thing I will say that I liked a lot was out of all of the people who wrote tributes to Hacks, my favorites was not expecting it to be was Alex 19's.
I haven't seen his.
He wrote something along the lines of like saying like I read the Hacks news, breaks my heart, love the guy, he was hilarious and super fun to hang out with, and he posted a video that he had on his personal phone of him videoing Hacks after a Linguini session, which is where Mango would viciously beat somebody's legs until they couldn't walk anymore, and Hacks is like, fuck you, man, like flipping off the camera. And Alex said, and I think he phrased it perfectly, Melee lost its biggest fan. and it's absolutely true.
Yeah,
like
right.
Hacks, people might think it's Mewtwo King, but I don't think anybody gave their life as much as Hacks did to Melee. So
Word.
rest in peace, Aziz. Like Mango said, start practicing because Mango wants to take your ass to fucking FD in heaven and chain grab that ass. But it's gonna be a different world.
Video
now.
games in heaven? That really
There has to be.
There has to be. It's not heaven
There
for that
has to
man
be,
if there's
and
not
you
a.
don't have to pay for them. That's literally
Oh my
that has
god!
to be.
You have that
bro.
full cloud, bro.
The full cloud in a cloud. It's in a cloud.
Yeah, bro.
And you know what's
got
gonna
it.
happen, right? We're still not gonna have time to play. We're still just gonna be busy.
Oh, bro, you're gonna be hanging out with your relative from 1690, bro. You're gonna be like, yeah, what was it like back then? It's like we didn't eat
We're
at
gonna
all.
be in the game. Bro.
Yeah.
We're gonna be fucking. Gonna be in Red Dead
You guys have
Redemption.
Doritos back then? Like, what do you eat in heaven? Do you
Are there
eat?
Doritos in heaven? There's gotta be. Like,
There's gotta be every food ever, bro. Like,
no
what are
mega
you
corporations.
thinking?
Oh, man.
No processed.
No
food.
Imagine that. This is
There's no Taco Bell up there. There's no Taco Bell up there. I have a question before we move on to Hacks. Where was Hacks from? What city did he live in?
New York City.
Are all these people that you watch all New Yorkers?
What do you mean?
No.
H-Box, Hacks,
No.
Leffen, are
So
all...
to give you
Hacks is.
actual perspective, for a very long time,
No one
besides Hacks was literally like the #1 representative from New York, and for years he was known as being like New York City's best player.
And he was like a kid.
Yeah, he's a prodigy. Like when Mango and all of them were like 17 and they started playing, he was like 13, 14 years old, and he was like
Wow.
at that level. And not only that, it was only until like 3 or 4, it's probably 4 or 5 years ago that Cody started popping off, and we got like J-Mook and Aklo. So now the New York scene is way more like popular, and there's like multiple top 10 players from New York. But before it was only Hacks. So
Yeah.
Damn. That kind of makes me sad now that we lost like a
it's
a
weird,
citizen
like,
of
you know,
ours, like
we
state-
didn't know
New
him,
York
but we'd
State.
see him around.
Right.
We'd see him at tournaments. He's always like a figurehead. We go to like
Yeah.
Nebs, and he'd be like there. You
That's
know,
wild.
But it's, yeah,
Word.
he was definitely like a prominent
Yeah.
figurehead of the community. so.
Damn.
Word.
That's
Wild.
crazy that you also said you're gonna miss his play style because some video games are like there's only one set way of playing, but he played a specific
Yeah,
way.
not melee.
No, yeah.
Everybody plays completely differently. And it's also just like one of those things where I was like, man, I gotta play some melee.
They need to make a melee duel
They do.
where they just like have somebody doing like tech skill and you're like, oh,
I'm sure
that's
they
this
have that.
person.
That would be fire.
I'm sure that
players,
exists.
Like
Yeah.
a player database,
No, that'd
be sick.
I don't
Like
know
a
if there's
Melee
a database,
app?
but I'm sure like that exists. Like people have done that, where it'll be like a short on like Instagram or something,
Right.
because they do that with a lot.
Dude,
so.
Jose, Jerry, and I have been hanging out at Jerry's house, and we just go through like 15 of those browser trivia games in a row. It's like for 15 minutes. It's like
Nice.
Tradle, Global.
You guys gotta stream-
Framed,
just stream that
Cardle,
shit,
Crazy.
honestly.
Just stream it. Yeah.
Naruto, fucking Smashdle, all of them.
Who is
bro.
finding all these?
I found most of them, but Jose. The thing is like I find most of them, but Jose will be hanging out with me, and he's just like, look up one for this, and I'm like, okay, and I find it. And like like honestly, if I had to calculate all of them, we have Framed, which is the movie one, Costcodal, Global, Tradle, Cardle.
Do you do Wordle too or no?
Nah,
You
fuck
don't do
Wordle.
Wordle.
We used to do
Trash.
No,
Fartle.
world,
We used to do Fartle.
Worldle, which
I
is
don't like
essentially
World. It's like the country.
it's
outline.
global, but it's since you're just looking for the country, it's not like
Whatchamacallit, we've been doing Naruto, Smashdle. He does the One Piece duel or whatever, but I can't
Yeah, I
help
can't
with
do
that.
that.
I want to see if they have any of the Rockstar like girls,
Whatchamacallit?
What?
like a GTA girl.
And
Oh.
Joey, you said what's Fartle? Fartle is Wordle, but it's only with stinky words.
Yeah, fart and shit words. Yeah.
Yep.
And
Bathroom
then,
stuff.
there's a really cool one I found recently called Time Guesser. That one's really
Oh,
cool.
I
We
played
showed
that.
you
Oh,
that
we
one.
did that one, right?
Yeah, show you like a picture from like a part of history.
That one's
and
fun.
Find the country and the year that it was taken. But yeah, those,
I'm good at that
I
one.
think those are all the browser games. But either way, we just kind of like fiend on those for a good amount of time.
And there's a lot more that we don't
We also
know.
used to play Hurdle, but I don't know. That one kind of fell off. It was the one where they play like a couple seconds of a song.
Oh, they play each instrument.
and you have
they
to
do
guess
now.
what the
That one's
song
kind of
is,
easy
but-
though. Like you'll hear the bass line, it'll be like,
and
"That's oops, I did it again."
Factal,
Factal.
the organization of
Factal.
facts. So yeah, there's a lot of those browser games. Not to mention, I've actually been working out potentially bringing back, not bringing back, but continuing our Sinatu Nerdle battle.
I mean,
They just we even had a session recently.
yeah.
About it,
They
but
changed a bunch of new stuff in there, but no, I think that like there's definitely potential for that. I mean, we really did like the Wikipedia races.
No, I was thinking, I brainstormed a name for it recently.
Mhm.
You ready? Browser Beatdown. Think about that, because it's all browser.
That's
games.
better than Browser Bros for sure.
Yeah, that's
Brazzers.
I kind of like it.
So stay tuned for more browser beatdown.
Browser.
Browsers.
I'm gonna keep calling it
Brawler.
Browser. Cut, Dylan. Stop calling it
Browser.
Browsers.
How about browser?
Desist.
Browser brawl.
The worst way.
Browser brawl. Well, you know what? It's
No.
gonna be something like
I
that.
like Bobby's better. Sorry,
We'll
Joey.
theory
Yeah.
craft it. There's something there. It might not even be called anything. It might just be called Bobby and
Hey,
Dylan
watch
hang
this.
out.
The game.
Yeah. But yeah, we also have to play MLB The Show. That's something that you and I have to do as well. We
That's
have
easy,
to
though.
Be professional baseball players.
Oh, we're dressing up?
Yeah, 100%. I'm gonna be like Carlos Mendoza, where I dress up just like the players.
Yeah.
And the hat and everything.
And you be Jackie Robinson.
Yeah, makeup and all.
I think. I mean, I'll do the cup for sure. Gotta have protection. So I don't know if I'll do the actual. Hey, that's actually
External cup.
actually a good fucking segue.
Isn't?
It's a good segue.
Because you want to talk about.
I want to talk about the start of the MLB season
Yeah.
And the big ass bets.
and the big
It
which
was pretty for the Mets, but it was pretty interesting for the Yankees.
yeah, so I mean, I guess we'll start with that. I wanted to just talk about in general about how like baseball, especially like the commissioner Rob Manfred, went from like being the most hated guy to just being like the GOAT. Like everyone loves like the changes in baseball. A baseball game went from like 3.5 hours to like 2 hours and 15 minutes. It's like there's nothing
baseball's
like
kind
it.
of popping off.
Yeah, baseball
Yeah,
is
word.
popping off, and now it's just everything's different. Like we have the pitch clock now, so all those games are quicker.
Right.
Next year, there's now balls and strikes. You can challenge it, so now it's a robo ump.
Oh yeah.
So basically,
So that was they were testing that for next season.
yeah. So
Okay.
they had it in spring training, and basically that was the test run, and everyone said, "Fuck yeah, this is amazing."
Yeah, that's awesome.
Cool.
I love
What
that
is,
shit.
what is it?
So essentially, in baseball, the umpire calls all the balls and strikes.
Yeah.
Now, basically, there's a system that tracks what is a ball and what is a strike, and if you think they get it wrong, you can challenge it once per at bat.
Yeah.
Challenge it through like what, the system?
If it's a ball or a strike,
they'll
yeah.
revise the film and
Like controversially speaking, it's up to the umpire to decide whether or not it's a ball or a strike in the strike zone. And sometimes you watch the game and it'll be egregiously
It'll be
a
nowhere
ball,
close, yeah.
but they'll call a strike. Now the batter has the opportunity to challenge it. They go to the system, and if he's right, they overturn it.
yeah.
Even better.
And if he's wrong?
He just loses the challenge,
just
and
loses the challenge.
it stays.
Okay.
Yeah, and you only
This is
get
the
one
same.
challenge. So
And yeah,
You
but
wasted
it's
One challenge
but
every player or one challenge
at
every
bat.
at
team?
bat, but I think you get to keep challenging if you get it right?
yeah,
That's how that
and then
works.
also the pitcher gets one too.
Yeah, so if you get it right, you get to keep challenging.
Honestly, the
but if
pitcher
you-
one is way better because then the guy just like takes his stuff off and starts walking, and then you're like, nope, challenge that shit,
Yeah.
and you got to put your stuff back on and go back up. Yeah,
that's
it's
hilarious.
It
but
is.
the point is, it's just like it makes it faster now.
Yeah.
It's just I mean, it's just better.
It's fair and it's fast.
Yeah,
So-
because it's
Okay.
like it's annoying because it's like it also keeps the umps in check because there's some umps that are perfect and then there's some that are absolute garbage. So
Right.
now it's like you're keeping it in check, and also like a lot, it's about controlling the game. Like if the game's nowhere close, they'll call anything a strike because they're like, we got to get this done. This has been going on for like 3 hours.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's just how they handle it. Every batter is just swinging as hard as they potentially can. No one's trying to like, oh, I'm gonna try to hit it over. No one does that shit anymore. Everyone's just swinging as hard as they possibly can. And if it goes where there's no one, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good.
That's wild.
Yankees, controversial. I'm okay with it. There's a new bat where essentially it's not fatter,
The torpedo bat,
but
right?
it's thinner at the front. So the meatier part of the bat is in the middle where you make the most contact. For a lot of the Yankees who pull the ball, works really well. If you hit it the other way, it kind of doesn't work. It's like the ball kind of tails
Right.
away. But as long as you get in front of it, that ball goes really far. Yankees scored like 30 runs in 3 games or something like that.
Sheesh.
It was
35
a
runs.
crazy demolish. I just remember seeing the score everywhere.
And that's the thing because baseball people are like, "Oh, I can't believe they did that." Once you're down by about 8 or so runs, you put in a random dude. You put in your like second baseman to pitch. So that's why the game was 19-4. It wasn't that they're that bad. It's like
just the game was over. We're not
yeah,
gonna injure.
you're
a-
gonna put
a
this guy
good
who's never
pitcher.
pitched before, and he's just lobbing fucking lollipops.
It's like when
there.
you're down 30 in the fourth quarter of the NBA.
You play your
Right.
bench guy that looks like an AI generated dude. Yeah.
Exactly.
Right. First couple
Do
games.
you
of
think they're
season.
gonna keep those bat shapes? Like, is
They're-
every player gonna have that now?
There's just going to be regulations about it, but I think that everyone's going to try different bats out. I think that's like there's some bats that like have a different shape. There's like it depends on how you play.
So that we can have a keyblade bat. Is what you're saying.
Think of it this way. That's your item. right?
Okay.
And every batter has a different class.
There's a different class.
Think about it. You have the speed guy, you have the power guy.
Bro, who has the Funky Kong surfboard baseball bat from fucking Super Mario Sluggers?
Bro,
That's
I
what I
want there to
That's
be.
how
those
Otani
ones.
swings, bro. He's like, whack.
Wasn't there somebody who punches the ball? Is it Donkey
That was Donkey Kong.
Yeah. See, that
I
was
made a joke.
I don't think that's gonna go well, bro.
Yeah.
He's a punching
a fucking
a speeding
99
ball.
mile per hour
man.
fastball.
No,
But-
I made a joke about the Bowser bat. Throw Bowser bat up. How big it is to a group chat I have.
But yeah, I mean, baseball is fucking sick. Mets. I mean, I'm not fucking worried. But
Yeah,
I'll give my update. They started 0-6 last year, so we're doing better. So I'm
technically
chilling.
speaking, 1-2.
I'm chilling.
Technically speaking.
Yeah.
I want I'm just waiting to see what the next like mascot's gonna be because it was Grimace.
Oh
last
yeah,
year.
it's gonna be some random like I'm gonna guess it's gonna be some sort of like rapper or musician.
It's
That's
gonna
my
be
guess.
something.
It's gonna be
random.
like Snoop Dogg did the first pitch. 50 Cent's gonna come back and not know how to throw a baseball. Like,
I'm
you
gonna
know.
guess that it's gonna be a random citizen or a kid, like, and then they're gonna just like meme
it's gonna
the
be a
shit out of
child.
it, and they're
Hear me
gonna
out.
meme the shit
Hear me
out of
out.
it.
Luigi Mangione gets acquitted.
Oh,
Hear me
yo,
out.
and the Yankees think they have him, right?
Yeah.
The Yankees are like, yo, he's Italian, we got him.
Yeah.
And then he shows up in all Mets shit. We're like, fuck you,
He
guys. Oh my!
It's blue and orange. Holy shit.
Oh, that's incredible.
The Luigi masks
Yeah.
everywhere in the
Yankees
Mets
might have
stadium.
Tom Hanks, but you know the Dodgers but you know, baseball's kind of stupid because it is like the other sports where it's like it's a 162 game season and then at the end the Dodgers win. So, you know. But it's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Cool.
Fire.
Sick.
Shout outs to baseball. If
Look,
you're
baby,
Spanish, shout
baseball.
outs to baseball.
Yeah, baseball.
Baseball.
Baseball. Yeah.
Base.
I'm going to watch a Mets game next month. Is
Let's
it April
go.
yet?
Look at
Let's
you,
go.
fucking Jerry,
Is it
fucking
April?
going out doing things. Jerry living life.
I'm doing with work people.
Bro, look at you, man.
Yeah.
You got work people.
Yeah,
We need that. We're
look
gonna
at
have a
that.
monthly segment called Jerry Went Out.
With work people.
Da-da-da-da. It's gonna have and Jerry's gonna be like, "Yo, I went out. This is what I did." And,
Why am I? What's his name from Family Guy? The black reporter.
Ollie.
Yeah, it's gonna be Ollie.
Ollie.
Jerry's like, it was good.
It was good.
what is the game? It was fun.
They lost.
Fucking. I watched something that I wanted to share because it was very interesting.
Okay.
And that was a reunion that happened. There's a couple reunions that happened actually. There was a Come Town reunion that was fun to watch, but not what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about a Nickelodeon reunion that happened on YouTube, and that was the coming together of Drake Bell and Josh Peck on Josh's podcast, the Good Guys podcast. Two-parter. It was pretty cool. I watched all of it. It was very cool to watch two people I admired greatly growing up finally like getting an opportunity to like sit together and talk, not just about their experiences on the show, but also kind of like how they've navigated adulthood. They've been pretty vocal independently about how they've both navigated life using substances and stuff like that. So it's interesting to hear Drake and Josh sit
Your
down and
child.
talk about like you know about AA.
You've
right?
given me Adderall.
Exactly, but exactly like that. Exactly like
of
that.
course.
But
Yeah, they were all fucking.
honestly speaking,
wired.
like you go and you watch it, you read the comments. You don't even need to. You can just read the comments. It was a really wholesome experience. It was cool to see them like. You could tell like they're in a spot where they genuinely want to like fix their not fix because they fixed it already, but continue their friendship as adults, and it's really nice to see. It's cool too because Josh kind of gives Drake this platform to just kind of tell his story, say things from his perspective. Josh does the podcast with a partner. I think his name is Ben. And what's cool about it is they allow Ben to just kind of be the voice of the audience. So if like there's a question that he wants to ask,
Or it's like, oh, go further into this.
they
or
just
something.
they gave him carte blanche.
Yeah.
There was like, don't be afraid to ask us anything you want to know, and he did. You know, they asked him if they still keep in contact with like Amanda Bynes and shit like that. They asked them about like if they were actually friends during the show, since there's some like confusion about that. And they just basically were like, realistically, they're like, they basically admitted that when they were younger, they viewed it much like work. So like there were good days and bad days, but it really wasn't like they viewed each other as like best friends, brothers, or anything like that. But they also admitted that they were in such like compromised situations with their own personal lives that they probably would have preferred if they got along better and actually became closer than they were. So it was like, oh, you know.
They would have helped both of them.
It
out.
would have helped
Exactly.
them.
Like they admitted that it was kind of a weirdly immature way of looking at it, but back then they thought it was the mature thing to just go through it alone, basically.
Or just to be like, oh, let's not be friends like brothers. Let's treat it like
this
work.
is professional.
Yeah.
Like we're professional actors, both of us.
But other than that, one thing that I thought was really, really cool is they get to talking about like their origin story, how they met, how they started the comedy, and they start talking about their time on the Amanda Show, and they're explaining the first ever, because they explain basically when Drake was on the show, he had been there before Josh. So Drake had kind of been cemented as already like a male cast member. So when Josh got brought in, he was basically like the straight man for all the stuff. So like Amanda and Drake were always like the characters, and Josh was like, "What are you doing?" And Drake and Amanda were being wacky or whatever. But the first sketch that they ever did together as partners was the first time they ever did the Tony Pajamas sketch.
I was about
to
say
they're like babysitting Amanda and putting her to bed. But what's crazy about it is they ask Ben, they're like, "Have you seen the sketch?" And he's like, "No, I've never seen it before." And they explain it to him, and it's crazy. Like Drake is like, "Yeah, so we're babysitting Amanda," and he just goes right into it doing the voice. And without even Josh having to explain it, they just do the bit. Like they remember all the lines, the inflections.
Wow.
What are you doing for being an idiot? Okay. Like they do and me watching, I was like, what the fuck? It was crazy. The bits are ingrained, and even they look at each other like, yo, like they had a great time.
That's
with
fun.
it. And it was even wholesome at the end of it. They were like, yo, I just want to like make stuff. Like let's go do something or whatever. But I think out of all of that, besides all of that, rather, my favorite part of the podcast was Drake explaining how he lives in Mexico now. Because now Drake is a really big star in Mexico and Latin America. They joke around calling him Drake Campagna, but I never really knew the reason why. And the main reason is because when they syndicated Drake and Josh to Mexico, it wasn't on a cable network. It was like on a regular TV broadcast network, like Channel 5. And they aired Drake and Josh like at the same programming block that they did like Friends or Will and Grace. So Drake and Josh, for all things considered in Mexico, was just a traditional family sitcom, and was
like an adult sitcom.
It was never deemed a children's show. So like college students watched it, teenagers watched it, families watched it together. So in Mexico, Drake and Josh is gigantic, and Josh didn't even know this fully. So Drake was like, "Bro, there's a Mexican chain restaurant called Veeps. We're the kids menu. There's like a chain of like chips out there that have prizes. You open the bag, we're the prizes inside." He's like, "We're a board game." Josh is like, "We're a fucking board game." He's like, "I have it." It's like insane, but like in Mexico, it's like they're like Ross and Rachel basically.
Yeah,
like,
that's
the
wild.
So fucking, it's pretty interesting. So shout outs to Drake, shout outs to Josh,
And shout outs to Mexico.
and shout outs to Mexico. And they kind of alluded that they want to do it again, possibly even like an annual kind of like get together checkup type thing. But either way,
the next one should be in Mexico.
I was about to say we need to go to that when it's in Mexico
They
because it's
joked
gonna
about
be
that. They were
wild.
like,
Nice.
we should actually do this again in Mexico. It'd be
That's
hilarious. But either way, like from a fan's perspective, I know everybody sees that and immediately goes, "We need Drake and Josh this and Drake and Josh that." And then there's even people that are like, "I don't care if they do Drake and Josh, just like do something together, right?" But like,
I would rather,
honestly, just do a podcast every year, and that works for me. Like it's honestly,
to be honest, yeah.
I mean, that's what people want.
Heals my inner child.
People want you guys to be friends.
Yeah.
People don't want Drake and Josh too. You know what I mean? People want you.
I don't even know where you would go with Drake and Josh too. Like, what would that happen? What would that even look like?
They're
I feel
adults. They're adults and they live together.
But the joke was
Josh
that they were
broke up.
teens. They were like growing through this. They were going through the motions with you.
No,
Like,
nah.
I don't know.
Nah, it was about Drake fucking. It's about Drake getting baddies. That's what the show
That's
was
what it
about,
was. And then
guys.
Josh just be like, oh my god.
Yeah, I don't even know how you would adapt. I mean, yeah, but that's the thing. Like, they don't have to be Drake and Josh to be the comedy duo. Like, technically speaking, they weren't Drake and Josh before Drake and Josh. They were doing what they were doing on the Amanda Show.
So Tony Brothers Part 2. Tony
They
Brothers.
make a mob movie. That's what it is. Oh, you know what you do? I got you. You ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
They readapt Home Alone, and they're the gangsters who robbed the kid.
That would actually be.
That actually kind of.
That would work really well.
That.
As
And
if they
you
didn't-
get me to direct it. I got it. I'm a write a script.
And the
Macaulay
kid-
Culkin plays the kid.
Yes.
No.
They rob adult Macaulay Culkin. No,
God.
he's the father.
Guys, Macaulay Culkin is the father, The Rizzler is the kid.
Yo!
What do we do?
Photoshop this, please.
Justice is his like annoying friend in the beginning, and then he dies or something.
We have something. We have something here.
Photoshop this.
We got to put together a pitch deck and go to the studio. Like,
Guys, you breaking, you're out of breath, you're like bleeding. You're like, guys, we have the new.
Guys, catch us on the next episode of Shark Tank. We got to fuck.
Oh my god. The fact that it would make a lot of money, low key though.
Oh my god. What do you even call that movie?
Oh my god.
I don't know. I feel in my head it's also a Christmas movie. It's the second one. It's not the first one. It's the second one.
Riz alone.
Riz in New York. That one.
Riz in New York. Yeah. I like it.
Fuck. There was another thing I wanted to say. If I remember it.
It wasn't about the Rizzler.
It wasn't about the Rizzler. It was about. I mean, you went somewhere. I wanted to know about the thing you went to.
Yeah.
So do that first.
What'd you do?
You did something cool.
Yeah. So for Christmas, I bought my brother Subway Series tickets for us, and then he got me tickets to see Tom Segura live at MSG.
Wow, look at that. Because you're one of the poors, you couldn't afford it yourself.
Guys. Homie fucking sold out MSG.
I know.
For anyone who's like hating on this guy, I mean, if you sell out MSG, you're gonna think this guy's the same person.
But keep it unbiased. How's Tom?
Tom's very solid. Now let me talk about the experience, right? So of course, big day in the city, right? Go out to eat beforehand. You gotta, right? Delicious Spanish food. Go into MSG. Bobby, can you take a guess, a wild gander? Any of you guys who know any comedians? Who the first opening act of the show, right between 7:30 and 8, who the opening act of Tom Segura's show was?
Do I know who they are?
You know who they are. You won't get it.
I think it was the internet sensation Fred.
That's amazing. It was actually Jamie Lynn Spears. No, Jerry, you have a guess?
I don't.
You don't know any comedians or anybody?
Someone that I wouldn't expect. Like, I was going to say Bird. I mean, that's too easy,
how
right?
about Ari Shaffir?
Someone that I wouldn't expect.
Okay, the opening act for Tom Segura live at MSG was the musician Redman.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
What?
Oh no, but that he brings hip hop artists.
So
usually.
this is the thing. So he brings on Redman because it's like I thought they said Brian Redban because Redban was the producer for Joe Rogan and now he runs like the comedy club in Texas. But no, they were like New Jersey's own Redman. Redman comes out on stage. I was like, oh, this is fucking hype, right? Method Man comes out. I'm like, this is fucking sick, but he doesn't rap. Method Man just does ad-libs while he sings fucking Sugar Hill Gang and fucking Jump. I think they did like one Redman song.
That's fucking
But they did like Get White People Turned playlist, and like the first 3 rows were the only people having it. Marianti's just looking like, what the fuck is going? Like, did I have a stroke?
They're not
and I'm
gonna
like,
play Wu-Tang?
Yeah. I was like, she was having a stroke, and then like, you know, like say hell yeah, and she was like hell yeah, like, you know, everyone got into it eventually. Then in order, it was Not for School But for Life, Chris DiStefano, Joey Coco Diaz, Tom Segura. Fucking stellar star-studded cast.
That was good.
That's crazy.
Steffi is doing September 11th at MSG.
Yeah, I know.
So that's going to be fucking insane. But he actually has new material, so he actually killed it. That was really good. The weird thing about all these comedians, though, not that dirty.
Yeah,
they're all relatively clean for what they do, you know.
Honestly speaking,
like Joey Diaz gets like a bad rap as, you know, because he's like, hey yo, you know, he tells stories on the podcast about fucking, you know, prostitutes. I couldn't, you know, he's a felon, you know what I mean? And even Chris DiStefano, right? Like the worst, like I can't even think of like the worst things they said, but some people reuse some material, but I would say like everyone was a solid 9 out of 10.
Yeah, I mean, those are all fucking amazing comedians.
I would
no less.
I would maybe lower Tom a little bit because a lot of his new material is like old podcast stories, and he kind of turned it into like a more grandiose thing.
Gotcha.
And also, I think the reason why it's also very PG is because everyone has kids. So now it's like they've kind of cemented themselves as like the 30 to 45 age group comedian. And they all have children, so a lot of their material is about growing up and getting old and having kids, and it's like,
kid.
Yeah, it's all like half of everyone's set was about their kids. I didn't know this, but Chris Stefano also has a stepson. He kept joking about it. He's like, he's right there, you know. I love him just like he's almost my son.
Like
you know?
he's almost my own son.
he did it like 8 times. I was like,
he just put out a special on Hulu. He did all those jokes on his Hulu special. It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, he has new material, and then he also has more stuff for the next tour. So
show,
nice.
Yeah. That's gonna be a great show. 100%.
Yeah, it's a little tough, dude. I don't know why. Like, we got to do crowd work at MSG. I feel like you take all the crowd work out, but I know they're just trying to like riff and segue to the next thing. But I love fucking stand-up comedy,
bro. I love fucking comedy, and if you'll allow me to riff and segue off that, I'd like to talk about one of the most influential comedians who's ever lived. Before I talk about him, I'd like to talk about a pretty influential YouTube channel. Didn't that sound like I was going to do an advertisement? Before I talk about that, let's talk about Squarespace.
Let's talk about Ray-Bans.
We're not affiliated yet. Hold on. But I have been watching a YouTube channel called Dodford. You may have heard of it. It's a really fucking fantastic guy. It's one person. He has a YouTube channel. He's an editor, and he makes like short form. They're like 20 to 30 minute documentaries about celebrities. They could be actors or directors or whatever. But what's really interesting about this guy's editing and style overall is he doesn't talk over the videos. He actually edits footage of the celebrities' lives to audio of them talking in interviews or podcasts about themselves or about key moments. So it's almost as if you get to watch the celebrity themselves talk about their life, their upbringing, their career, and you also get to see more through like news headlines.
It's a timeline,
exactly,
but like way better.
But it's like super gripping,
yeah.
Because if you know like modern YouTube, kind of like you watch a video and the second you hear somebody's annoying commentary or voice, you're like, I don't know if I want to watch this now.
Oh yeah, it's like the TikTok voice or like the food influencer voice.
Exactly. Yeah. So all that to say, I've been watching a couple of his videos, but his newest video he just put out is about the absolutely legendary Conan O'Brien. And I just wanted to put some respect on this man's name because not many people know just how influential Conan O'Brien is. Like, he came from Brookline, Massachusetts, moved to Los Angeles, started writing for shows. His first big break was Saturday Night Live. He went on to write for The Simpsons. A lot of people credit Conan with being like one of the people who actually sort of revolutionized The Simpsons, because up until him, it was just meant to be like an animated sitcom. So it kind of just...
It was supposed to be very generic.
Very generic, nuclear family. Like, the stories weren't really all that crazy. It was like, Homer's the dad, Marge is the mom, and they live in Springfield.
Problems at school.
Yeah. But Conan O'Brien came along, and he was like, this is a fucking cartoon. Like, let's do some wacky shit, basically. And now The Simpsons is way more colorful and crazy. And it's not all because of Conan, but he was definitely one of the voices around that era who pushed for that change.
What, did he push for Homer to strangle his son in the throat?
Possibly. I don't know.
It's a lot of the side characters and a lot of like they would like, who shot Mr. Burns, and they want to say like he kind of.
And not only that, of course, what he's probably most famous for is, of course, his late night hosting, which was a really like controversial thing. Not many people know that in 2006 he had his own show on NBC. Jay Leno was hosting The Tonight Show, and Fox offered Conan O'Brien $28 million to go to their network. NBC didn't want to lose Conan O'Brien, so they made him a deal, and they said, we'll give you $8 million, and in 5 years, we're going to kick Jay Leno off The Tonight Show, and we're going to give you The Tonight Show. Conan O'Brien decided to say yes and stay with NBC. The 5 years passed. They gave him The Tonight Show, but they gave Jay Leno his own show and then tried to push the time slot to push the Tonight Show into midnight. So basically, they went back on their deal and kind of forced Conan to quit. So they reached the deal. Conan left, started a talk show with TBS, Conan, and it blew all the other talk shows out of the water. So he kind of had like the last laugh, so to speak.
They tried to fuck him over, and he fucked them over.
And then the video ends with talking about his newest appearance on the Oscars, about how he did like a really great job hosting the Oscars. There was like a lot of clip-worthy stuff. Not only that, he's already tapped in to host next year's Oscars because of how great it was. And I wanted to wrap that up by saying I'm really happy for the guy because he's going to be receiving the Mark Twain Prize for Humor, and I'm really fucking excited for that. It's rare that happens, and I'm like, yes, that motherfucker gets it. Yes,
that one is like, okay.
No, he deserves it.
He should have gotten it way longer ago, but this is what I meant when I said Kevin Hart got it, and I was confused. I'm not saying Kevin Hart doesn't deserve it, but you're telling me Kevin Hart gets it before Conan O'Brien and Jim Carrey?
Look where you are in your career.
That's true. No, that's true.
Just saying. I also think Jamie Foxx is up there. I think Jamie Foxx is like a year or two away from getting that as well. But that's my take. Shout outs to Conan O'Brien. A lot to learn from the guy.
Word.
And shout outs to comedy because it's wacky.
Yeah, I don't know. Comedy
It's
gets
Looney.
like it gets a bad rap because it's kind of seen as like shill. You know, it's seen as the kind of like this like, oh, you're making people laugh. Like, oh,
Yeah.
it's kind of like lowbrow. You're just kind of making jokes, but it's like it is an art form. And it doesn't really get the appreciation for that, especially when you have like SNL or Simpsons, where it's like all these people in the writers' room. It's like, no, these people are fucking going at it.
Yeah.
They're trying 100 different ways to make you laugh.
And last thing I'll say, just because we're on the tangent, I was watching clips from the recent episode of SNL featuring Mikey Madison. Wow, that was one of the more painful episodes of Saturday Night Live.
Can we watch it?
Seen. You can watch clips of it.
I heard
It's
things.
Awful. It honestly feels like these writers are so out of touch with who they think these young audiences are. There's like a whole sketch where Mikey Madison comes in dressed as Squidward, and like that's the joke. Like they're like, oh, she's a and then it's just like SpongeBob references, but it's like, do they think that just random SpongeBob references are what's funny? Like, no, it's just
There's nothing there.
There's like a whole musical number called like Big Ass Line about how people just stand on big ass lines for things, and the whole hook of the song is like, I'm on another big ass line, and it's like, you're not Lonely Island. It's so weird, bro.
Damn, that sounds painful.
I like. There's been a lot of times where people, say like, "Oh, SNL fell off," and I'll be like, "This is one of the times where I'm like, it might have fallen off. I don't know."
No, I think now it has. I mean, of course, like it never really recovered from like that big like Andy Samberg, Bill Hader, Sudeikis. Tina Fey, everyone in that vein, but like they always have a few people that are really good, but it has to be the writers now, because it's like you had Pete Davidson for a bit, you had I forget the Hispanic guy's name, the light-skinned Hispanic guy. He has like the raspy voice.
The new guy.
Yeah, I forget his name. It's like Rodriguez or something. He's really funny.
Big, yeah.
But yeah, like they have like a few good comedians. Mikey Day was like a classic like fucking sketch guy from back in the day YouTube, and even before YouTube. But it's like they gotta step it up like writer wise, because you can tell it's like the 50 was good because they brought on a lot of old people and did old gimmicks, but that's why it was funny, because they did all these old bits that were like, these worked.
We should write for them.
Yeah. I'm down. Give me a job, please, Lauren. I'll do anything. I'll clean your toilets, man.
It'll be funnier than fucking
waiting on a
big ass line.
Big ass line.
I think we have some sketches that they can use.
Yes, we do. All right. Anybody have anything left?
I like to segue from comedy. I saw something that was pretty loony.
Don't spoil it for me.
Okay.
I'm going to watch it, but you can talk about it.
I went to see the Looney Tunes movie. So first and foremost, Jerry and Dylan, did you know that there is a Looney Tunes movie that's been in movie theaters for the past week?
Yes.
I did not.
Yes, I love.
I've only mentioned it in chat like 4 times.
Bobby's
went to
been
the theaters.
Bobby's been talking about it OD, and also I secretly love like Looney Tunes, Tom and Jerry, like those shows. But it's like I haven't. The last thing I watched was like the Cartoon Network show with all the Lupe stack, etc.
So a lot of people don't know that this movie is out, and that's because Warner Brothers was gonna scrap this movie idea. It was a movie that follows Porky Pig and Daffy Duck saving the world from a catastrophic event, and Warner Brothers was going to scrap it, but a small company called Ketchup produced the film, and they only had enough money to basically just produce the film. There was zero to no marketing.
Oh, nice.
And the reason I knew about it was because my Instagram reels are full of animation. So it was kind of like, hey, look at this movie's coming out, and that was like the first and last time I heard anything about it.
Damn, does nobody listen to Bobby in the chat, man?
I think you mentioned
Bobby
it.
mentioned it like at least. Bobby's being polite. He mentioned it like 7 times.
Yeah, I'm not even joking.
But I knew it before Bobby mentioned it in the chat. Like I knew about it.
I doubt it.
No. I did.
Known about this for like a good couple years.
And you mentioned it on the chat a year ago? I found about it like a few months ago.
Yeah, recently it's been a lot, but I remember you talked about it like a while.
Thank you. It's not important, but thank you.
I got you back. Don't worry.
But
I was definitely scrolling past all those.
It was a really good movie. Like I wanted to support it because, a lot of people don't support 2D animation. The 2D animation is like falling off in the department.
People don't even make 2D animation anymore.
Not anymore.
At least not theatrically.
I would like to see it a lot more. Like it's a interesting craft.
It's also nostalgic. It's also nice to see. You know,
Joey, you can make your own with Studio Ghibli art on ChatGPT.
Yeah,
Shut the
right.
fuck up.
I fucking hate that.
I'll strangle you myself.
Guys, there's way worse AI stuff. Like everyone's getting mad about this AI stuff. How about the really bad stuff? You know, there's like way worse.
It's all bad.
I can make you like fuck a horse right now. Like, not to be that guy, but it's like AI is getting that.
Would you rather Studio Ghibli
Dylan,
you or
I'd like
you
to
fucking a
imagine
horse?
how much worse I could make things for you with my skill set, pal.
I mean, well, that would be.
Bro, you saw that fit.
Well, that wouldn't be AI. That's just art. You know, that wouldn't be.
Yeah,
that
right.
wouldn't be AI.
Dylan sees him fucking a horse like,
Well, is that AI? Is that deepfake AI?
yeah.
Yeah.
Or is it just like?
Because it's using images to create something.
It doesn't
that's
even
not
matter.
real.
It's still doing it for you.
Right.
It's just that process is still.
I feel like
no matter what.
because like in general, nothing like very few things are actual AI. So it's just like AI just means like the general sphere of you not doing the thing
with the braids.
anything with.
It's a good point. You raise a good point, Dylan.
To get back on the Looney Tunes though, it was sad. I have a friend that also has a YouTube channel, and he was the only one in that theater. And when I went to go see it with my girlfriend, we were the only people. There was maybe a father and a son, and like a son and a mother. And it was me and Nicole like in the middle. We were just like in between both of them. And it made me think, like, do kids even know Looney Tunes anymore? How did we watch Looney Tunes? How did you watch Looney Tunes?
Yeah, I'll answer this question really easy for you.
I would say VHS.
Michael Jordan played basketball with Bugs Bunny, and 5 years ago, LeBron James played basketball with Bugs Bunny. So kids know who the Looney Tunes are. Don't
It's
worry.
just not
yeah.
like guys.
In another
but kids
20
know.
years, fucking Luka Doncic will play with Bugs, and it'll be
Okay.
they'll get a white guy. It'll be a whole new spiel.
Oh,
Like,
okay,
oh my
yeah.
God, Bugs! What are
That's
you doing
true.
here, man?
I
It's
completely
amazing.
forgot
Oh.
about that movie. I was just
Daffy
thinking
here
about-
too. What are you? Oh man, it's very loony. What's going on, man?
But it was a good 2D animated movie. I don't want to spoil it because Bobby wants to go see it. But
They
tons
die,
of-
right? They die. In
they
that.
all die.
That's but Bugs does die at the end of Space Jam, which is the funniest part to me.
Whatchamacallit? Yeah, it was really good. I think the voice acting was good. It's all done by one guy. Like, and I didn't know that
Eric,
even back then.
Eric
Mel
Bauza?
Blanc, he voiced all the Looney Tune characters. So why did they decide to just keep it one guy? They were just like, yeah, Mel Blanc's gone. We don't need to hire like 20 actors. Just
Well, if
one
you think
guy.
about it, if one person's able to do it,
might as well just find the one
the same
person
who could
that
do the
can
same
do it.
voice register and then just change everything up. Like if you, who is it? He did the new guy is a Filipino guy from Canada. His name is, I think, Eric Bauza.
Yeah.
And he did an interview where he was explaining that, and when he says it, it's like, whoa. I don't remember, but basically it was like Sylvester's voice is the exact same as somebody else's
Daffy's.
voice, but it's just he doesn't do the lisp. And
And
then when you
it's-
take it away, you're like, oh shit, it's like the exact same thing. Yeah, but either way, shout out to the Looney Tunes.
That same interview, they asked him, like, what is your thought process when doing these characters? Are you really thinking about the characters' motives? And he says, no. In fact, I think about what would Mel Blanc say? What would Mel Blanc do? And I try to replicate that as much as I can.
Yeah. It's the spirit of the characters.
I also went to the theaters. I went to watch Mickey 17.
That's a dope movie.
Yeah, I felt like I was thinking about it. I was like, did I mention that last week? And I was like, no, I watched it this week. But it was you that watched it last week.
What'd you think?
I thought it was pretty good. Joey, I mean, was it Bobby that was upset? I said I gave it like an 8.
I said I wouldn't tolerate less than an 8.5, but you did watch.
Yeah, I mean, I like the
Snowpiercer.
concept. The concept for sure, a 10.
I do firmly believe that if you didn't watch Snowpiercer the day before,
Yeah, I think that definitely
Mickey
affects
17
it.
would have been a lot better. That's where you fucked up.
Yeah, I think I'll definitely say I think that Snowpiercer, watching it, it became one of my favorite movies for sure.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
I low-key think that alien thing was cute. Nicole was like, what? That thing's disgusting. I'm like, I would keep that shit as a pet. That thing's mad cute.
All right, let's do the doodah. You know what I mean? The doodah day. Yeah.
Isn't that a Looney Tune thing?
There's like, there's this little segment we do where we talk about some music. I have a playlist that's called The Jams. Dylan has a playlist. It's called The Yams. Jerry has a playlist. It's called The Bams. Joey has a playlist. It's called The Slams. And we all pick music and talk to you about it. Does anybody have their recommendation?
I know mine.
Wow, he knows it.
Yes, mine is a really good song. It's called "Without You," the rock version by Holywatr.
By The Rock?
Yes. The song also has like a hyper pop, like techno version and also an acoustic version, but this one's way better. Guys rock.
Cool.
Cock.
My slam goes to Dashboard Confessional's Vindicated. I have no idea why I'm jamming to this song as of late. But I'm also not only listening to their version on Spotify, but I'm just typing in random acoustic covers of their songs and just picking some random person to listen to. I'm like, I'm going to jam to your voice and your cover today.
Cool.
Sick. I haven't been listening to a lot of music, but Spotify swung me a song from Lupe Fiasco's album last year. I didn't know that he was still making albums. It's called Samurai. It's just a chill, background track.
Right. My jam of the week is going to be a song called Soda Funk with 2 Ks and an exclamation point by J Funk Boy. It's just kind of a cool
J
funk,
Funk,
like a little blend of some songs. I don't know how to explain it. It's like one of those DJ sets that's its own song, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
But
I like that.
It's a vibe. It's dope. And speaking of dope, we're done. Whoa, that's like dope without the N and with a P. Shout outs to the Joystick show. Shout outs to Team Joystick. That's us. Shout outs to you for watching it. And shout outs to the buttons underneath the fucking screen where you can click to like and to subscribe.
Do all the stuff. Anything you could click, just fucking click it all.
Click everything
Click
on your
dislike,
screen.
Make sure you hit that one. Do they still have the dislike button? Is that they have it, right?
They have it.
They just don't show you.
Don't click that one. I see that, and it hurts my feelings.
I got the show thing.
Yeah, it hurts my feelings. And if you do it, I'm gonna find you, and I'm gonna tell you how mad. Fucking catch us next week when we're gonna have a professional juggler. He's gonna juggle the entire time that we're doing the podcast. It's gonna be like a Guinness World Record for longest juggling while podcasting. It should be pretty cool.
We're also going to be at the live curling federation, so check us out.
We're gonna see your cousin there.
Yeah, I'm like, actually, that's my niece, my 8-month-old niece is actually the one.
She's the thing that gets curled, right? Yeah.
You gotta cut.